Finding your purpose is something that I get asked a lot with the type of content that I make and the stuff that I talk about in that content. So I kind of want to break down what my views on purpose is and how to go about finding your purpose in life. Hi, my name is Kimani and I help you get in touch with who you are, who you want to be, and how you can get there. So I want to start the video off with a couple of misconceptions that I went ahead and wrote down about purpose, how you can find it. So the first misconception is that purpose is a lifelong meaning that you must fulfill. Life happens in seasons, and assigning yourself one purpose throughout every single season in your life is hindering, and you're going to put yourself in a box, blocking you from actually aligning and getting in touch with said purpose. Second misconception is that sometimes, as humans, we yearn for things and we long for careers, lifestyles, relationships that we deep down kind of aspire to have, but it contradicts our belief systems or default programming, or contradict what some people may perceive to be socially unacceptable, in which would cause them to feel rejected or feel like an outcast and scared to embark on that journey to find your purpose, right? And as we know, and as you may have experienced before, suppressing your natural callings and natural gravitations towards something will cause you to always kind of feel this insecurity and cause you to look outside of yourself to validate the path that you're on, even if that path doesn't really align or fully reflect what you feel your purpose should be. Another outcome of blocking self-exploration is fear. We want to find our purpose out of fear because if we don't have a purpose in life, we feel like we're going to drift in all these different directions and wake up one day and be like, what happened? What is my life right now? We feel like purpose is our out to not living life on autopilot. Doing things fear-based will always block you from being able to have clarity, to be able to make decisions quickly without needing outside validation. Last misconception that I hear a lot is, I have no purpose. Everything that I try or everything that I have tried in the past, it doesn't feel like I'm connected to anything that I try, any room that I have stepped in. It just doesn't connect for me. This is where I want to break down those misconceptions, because in all of those misconceptions is the underlying notion, I guess, that you have to go and embark on finding your purpose, going on these journeys to find out what purpose is. And I think that on the surface, I always used to think I need to find my purpose. If I have no purpose in life, what am I doing? I feel like everything is pointless without a purpose. And oftentimes we think that our purpose is a definitive assignment to us that we must fulfill until death, until it's completed, until whatever, right? We think it's just one purpose that we're assigned. I realized in reading books, in experiencing and pushing myself outside of my comfort zone, in nurturing and rekindling relationships even, that purpose stems from creation. I know creation is kind of like a broad way of describing purpose, so I kind of want to break down the correlation between purpose and creation. Again, purpose isn't something that you find. Purpose is something that you create. What I would like to describe purpose to be is something that is treated like it's a noun, like it's a fixed object sitting somewhere, right? Like purpose is destination. Purpose is a byproduct. It's a feeling of alignment, right? That shows up after action. So while we think we have to wait for this revelation to happen in our lives to tell us what our purpose is to then take action, it's the opposite. Purpose is, again, a byproduct of action. So what is creation? What is the actual definition of creation now that we know what purpose is? Creation is an act of imposing form onto the undefined. And here's what I mean by that. Before you create, you have raw material. This is experience, this is perspective and perception, this is also time, this is also attention, potential. This is a form of self, a form of identity that hasn't yet decided what that form of creation is going to be. Essentially, creation is a decision-making process that takes that raw, authentic form of ideas and time, and you are giving it depth, you are giving it shape, you are giving it something tangible even. That applies to a business, that applies to paintings, that applies to a form of self, a form of identity. The link between the two are you start formless, meaning your identity is molded by your environment, uncontrollables, so this is belief systems that you grew up with, limiting beliefs you grew up with, positive beliefs you grew up with. Everything around you in your world has shaped your identity outside of you intentionally forming an identity. This is that raw material, if you will. This is that raw material. This is just who you are now. The second is you make a choice, right? You understand that this is who you are now, and I want to make a choice. I want to make a choice to choose a new hobby. I want to make a choice to start a new business, to make a new creative project. Essentially, you're testing a new version of yourself when making that decision. That is literally creation, is making a decision. You are creating new opportunities for yourself by choosing new avenues of expression. Once you embark on that actual choice and you decide you want to push yourself out of your comfort zone, that choice creates actual feedback that you receive, whether it's good or bad. There's no labeling it, it's just feedback. And that feedback is either aligned, you connect with it, or you don't. It's simple. And if you feel aligned, this means you feel energized, you feel gravitated towards being more curious and digging more deep into your creation. If you're not aligned, you may find it hard to bring yourself to do something or find interest in it or make time for it. And some common signs of not feeling really aligned is you feel dread. You feel that resistance towards actually embarking on that project, right? And so the next part is that from that feedback, whether it's positive or negative, is another step towards purpose. See, purpose is not something separate that you go out and find. Purpose is simply an emotional signal that you receive from making those intentional choices and actions. It's that emotional signal that that choice has generated. And so think of purpose as retroactive data. So because you now have that signal and some kind of data on whether or not that choice was aligned with how you truly feel, you make another choice, or you expand on the choice that you've already made. And you refine that choice based on what you've taken away from that creation, from that process, from that decision, or from what you have learned about yourself internally. You create again and again, and you expand on your creation, or you change direction of expression. I like that. Change direction of expression. You literally have just figured out how to go about creating your purpose, because once you have all of that down, you literally just repeat it. You repeat this process, you repeat making intentional choices, and you learn to adapt. You have this loop of feedback that you have created based on your decisions. Feel that signal, and then you choose again and again. The choice can go in any direction. There's no limitations on what you choose to do in your life. This is literally the entire mechanism that links creation and purpose. Because I don't know if you guys know, but there's this famous symbol, ancient symbol, where a snake is eating its own tail. And this represents that rebirth is infinite. Your reality is not fixed. Your identity is not fixed, and neither is your purpose. Purpose changes, as I said in the video, based on the season of life that you're in. So when we feel like we have to go out and find this fixed one purpose that we have to fulfill in our life, we box ourselves in and we limit ourselves from making choices that align with us with where we are now. So back to that ancient symbol, that snake is eating its own tail because it's constantly shedding its own skin and taking what it's learned from their previous identity and applying it to that new identity. This is where identity is never something that starts all the way over. Identity and creation and purpose all stems from past knowledge that we take from our previous identities and apply moving forward, or apply in a different direction. Every single time you choose to create, every single time you choose to make a decision, you are literally taking internal knowledge, taking experience, and applying that in the right direction where you feel you know you will get the emotional signal that you're looking for. So where finding your purpose fails is that we always are looking outside of ourselves to find purpose. We're looking at other people's experiences, other people's projections of their experiences onto you directly, looking for validation or is our path good enough for us through other people, through signs, through seeking out knowledge outside of ourselves, without even actually creating or embarking on making choices to create, or knowing what creation really is, because it's so broad, right? And that right there is the root problem of the misconceptions that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, because people still search internally and externally and get nothing, because purpose has no independent existence outside of action. There's nothing to find, only something to generate within you, and it takes a decision. It takes knowing. It takes unknowing to embark and intentionally set time to create. Back to why it's seasonal. I want to touch a little bit on seasonal and purpose changes. Because purpose is generated through decisions that you have made in the past that compound on each other, it exists in that loop that we discussed. And so that loop can be expanded, right? But then again, it's still running inside of that loop. That loop can be present. It's most likely present in the now. The output changes as your creations change. That's why expecting one fixed purpose across your entire life, across all the seasons in your life and changes in your life, misunderstands the actual mechanism of purpose, essentially limiting you from being outside of just you. You have to be willing to challenge who you are now, your self-concept and your identity. And it can feel daunting and scary to do so because, again, when we feel like we don't have a purpose, we feel like we're floating through life on autopilot. But when you redirect that energy of, oh, I'm scared that I'm going to be floating through life and end up somewhere I don't want to be, you can redirect that energy on making decisions, little by little, and letting them compound. Lastly, we're going to touch on self-concept. Creating self is identical to creation outside of just you. Identity isn't something that's discovered either. It's something that's chosen. It's constructed in the same way through choices, through feedback, through refinement, and through repeating that process. So purpose and identity aren't two separate, different journeys. They are the exact same mechanism. It's the exact same mechanism applied to two different questions. One, who am I? This is identity. And why does it matter? This is purpose. Both go the same way, and neither of them gets found. They are created. So that's the actual breakdown between creation and purpose. Purpose is not a destination that you arrive. It is a signal that your own creations and decisions generate, depending on the season of your life, which means the only way to find your purpose. Start building around something and pay attention. Be aware, be present in what those emotional signals are telling you. Most importantly, what this process is telling you. Now, I truly encourage you to look at that, I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but Ouroboros, because it's literally everything that we discussed in this video today. I want you to look into that and apply that to your life. Apply this mechanism to your life and let me know what you find. I'm curious. This is also, I want to say, untimed process. If you try to pressure yourself into finding or creating your purpose in a timed matter, you're not really creating from a place of intention. Again, placing time on it is just another avenue of fear, in my opinion, because if you feel that you need to place time on it or a deadline on it, it's limiting you. Decisions take time. Emotional signals take time to understand. Self-awareness takes time to understand. And distinguishing self-awareness between fear takes time. It takes experience and it takes intention. So definitely look into that symbol and realize that this is not a timed way to find your purpose. Now, if you want to learn more about creation and how you can stick through and follow through with those creations, I do have I'm not going to call it a course, but it is a framework that is a 5-step framework that you can go through and really reflect on how to build your creation around your current life and the constraints that you have in life. So this is essentially a framework to help you build a type of discipline around your identity and how you can see an actual transformation in your life. So if you would like to go through that framework, I want you to sign up in the link in bio and be notified when it drops. I really want to thank you for being here, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to what it is to have purpose and how to find your purpose. And if you found any value in this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more videos, and leave in the comments your perspectives on purpose and if this resonated or if it didn't, and what you would like to see moving forward.